So I'm joined this evening with Luke McCann and Felipe Cunha from Belfast. And this is the second year we're doing this video to promote a very special week-long event that's happening in Belfast. And I thought, Luke, if you want to fill us in how it went last year, and then we can take people through what you're doing this year up in Belfast with this week-long list of events.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Robert. Thanks for having us as well. So yeah, it went incredibly well. Praise God last year. So by way of a quick background, last year was the first Our Lady's Rosary Festival taking place
Mhm.
in Belfast. But it was actually the 21st, or sorry, the 20th year where there was a rosary procession to mark the feast day of Our Lady of the Holy Rosary. And basically, it was the 20th year where the Legion of Mary were going to organise a procession to go down the Falls Road. And because it was the 20th, we wanted to kind of make it like a big festival of fun and kind of proudly profess our faith, but also to bring about unity in terms of Catholic lay organisations in particular, but also to encourage priests and religious and sisters to attend and to really just have a whole week dedicated to devotion of our faith and with the primary focus on our Blessed Mother. So what we did was last year, the Legion of Mary invited the Knights of St Columbanus to kind of form together a Rosary Festival committee. And there were 7 events over 8 days, kind of leading up to the culmination being the Rosary procession on the final Sunday. And just in terms of numbers, the previous year, the 19th Rosary procession had about 150 people, but last year there were 800 people in the procession, and there were more in the in St Peter's Cathedral where it kind of finished. So there was about 1,000 in total, something close to that anyway, and the cathedral was full. So this year we're kind of there's more events, there's different events, some heaven sent events, so it seems, and we're really hoping that people will be willing to kind of travel for Our Lady's Rosary Festival from all over Ireland, really, and even further afield, possibly if there's some of the events are of particular interest.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's happening from the 5th to the 13th of October. So
I'm
a couple of weeks away.
I'm just going to share with everybody here the full list of events so we can just walk them through them. And for people that don't know Belfast, we're inviting people up there just to give them an idea so that they can understand. Belfast is very accessible. It's not like Dublin. There's a lot more, even central Belfast is more accessible for people if you're driving in. So maybe we can just go through a little bit of slight logistics so that people are aware. So you have on the 5th of October the Camino of St Michael the Archangel from St Peter's Cathedral to St Michael's Church. Just give the people an idea. Where is St Michael's Church for somebody who is not from Belfast?
Okay, I suppose I'll take this first one, Philippe, if you want to go through the next few. Maybe works out well. Um, so the Camino, it's all in West Belfast. It's very, very easy to get to off the motorway.
Yeah.
It's a very special day, this Camino. We did it for the first time last year. It's so cool. So I'll just quickly go through it. Basically, we're going to do the chaplet of St Michael the Archangel, where you invoke the 9 different choirs of angels. The idea is to do one in each church as we kind of
Yeah.
process up the falls in Andersonstown roads. We're going to start in St Peter's Cathedral, where the week ultimately finishes. We start with the Angelus, which is appropriate for a Camino of St Michael, and we're going to process to St Michael's. It takes about 3.5 hours to do the walk for anyone who would like to join us to do the walk. And then whenever we get to St Michael's, the Knights of St Michael are going to be there, just as they were at the Rosary or the Eucharistic procession in Dublin a couple of weeks ago. They're a great
Yeah.
group of men, and they have this beautiful statue of St Michael the Archangel, which dwells in St Columba's Longtower Church in Derry. So they're very kindly coming to Belfast. they'll process in on arrival at St Michael's through a guard of honor of the Knights of St Columbanus, which is it's visually very powerful, you know. And then Dana is actually going to be there, and she will kick things off on arrival at St Michael's. She'll do a testimony, you know, a talk, and she'll also have some music performance for us. And then the vigil mass itself in St Michael's takes place at 5 o'clock. So that's kind of the culmination of the first day's events with
Yeah.
the Camino.
And just for parking, I think these my suggestion for parking, and probably you check it out, would be Clonard Monastery is not too far from St. Peter's, which has a large car park there.
Yes, it is a large car park. It'll be the first church that we're going to after St. Peter's, Clonard, actually. But
Yeah,
like the street parking in Belfast is fine. On the weekend, it's free anywhere that you can find space type thing. The glider service up and down the Falls Road is very frequent and very cheap. So, you know, if you want to park at the starting point or the end part point, it's very easy to get back to your car either way.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. And as I said, there's loads of places. It's just to get wait to make people aware, because we were doing the procession through in Dublin, and it's not as easy to get car parking up there. We found, you know, especially on the weekend. But Belfast, there's a lot more possibilities.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, especially going closer to the places, including in St. Michael's. It's also very, very close
Yeah,
to, I mean, the car parks available in St. Michael's. If someone wants to park in St. Michael's Church and go to St. Peter's, it's a long walk to do that, but it's a big car park and very near the church. So
yeah, perfect. And then, so that's what you're kicking off on the Saturday, which is the pilgrimage walk, really, around the Camino around from St. Peter's, visiting 9 churches. That is actually going to be a beautiful day, because people get to see, you know, so many places in Belfast. It's like one of those tourist walks.
walk,
There's
yeah.
yeah. So I do encourage people to go to, and you'll probably be visiting one of the church that has that triptycho when you walk in the door. What's the church's name? Very famous painting. When you walk into the church, and it's on your left as you walk in, behind a big stained glass, a big window. What's that church's name? Uh,
I'm
it's just
embarrassing
down.
myself here not by not knowing. I can't think. I can't recall.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it'll be on the list of walks anyway. So it'll be a list of places, because it's not too far from St. Peter's as you come up the falls. Before you come up the
Clonard and
falls.
then St Paul's, they're beautiful, both big old churches.
Yeah,
St Paul's is beautiful. It has because it had the relics of Blessed Carlo Acutis last year. It has a statue
yeah,
of Blessed Carlo as well,
yeah,
which is pretty cool. And Clonard itself is just magnificent, like you
yeah,
know.
exactly.
So is St Peter's. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
it's
definitely
good.
for anyone that hasn't had that sort of day out in Belfast, it'll be
Yeah,
very worthwhile.
yeah, yeah. And then on the Sunday, you have a Ceilidh in the Immaculate Heart of Mary Church Hall on the Antrim Road, from 6 p.m. follow the 6 p.m. Mass. And that's the Institute of Christ the King Church, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And
So
people park then along the roads there. That's easy enough to park there.
yeah, there's the whole quarter. Then there are roads just beside it as well. It's very easy to park. Um, and also we so this is traditional Irish music, and that's the Ceilidh. Most of people know what it is, but for those who don't, like it's the a set dance with groups, and you don't need to know how to dance Irish music or Irish dance. People will teach the basics, and then you just follow along, and it's just more for the fun. It's a really um, exciting activity, and that year we wanted to include was something already in our mind last year, but we're afraid of the commitment of so many different events. We're afraid if we're able to do it. So this year we decided to put it in, and and it's just a nice draw to get people to go to it, and then and it starts to build the crowd and the excitement towards the big procession.
Yeah,
So
it's
yeah, and
great.
there'll be live music for the Katie, and there'll be supper as well. So it'll be a
Yeah.
nice evening.
And that's an absolutely beautiful church. The hall is right below the church, and they've done so much renovations now with a new floor, a new sanctuary. It's great if people can see the work that the fathers, the canons are doing there in that chapel.
Yes, 100%,
Yeah.
100%.
And then on Tuesday, you have Be Reconciled in St. Mary's Chapel Lane. Night Fever will lead adoration, confession, and Holy Mass, and light refreshments afterwards. St. Mary's Chapel Lane, that is has the Our Lady of Lourdes grotto beside it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very beautiful chapel as well, and that will have a good appeal to people around Belfast on that Tuesday, and hopefully we can see the fruits coming out of that. And then
This
on
is
thir
the first Catholic church in Belfast, so it's a good point to have an event of that extent, and
Yeah,
it's good to draw people to there, and especially because on the 15th of October, the relics of Saint Bernadette will be visiting this church. So we hope that people coming to the Be Reconciled event will be able to familiarize themselves with the church and maybe go back to it
yeah.
on the week after.
Yeah, and there's great restaurants there, lots of places to eat around there. If people are visiting that area of Belfast, it's probably one of the best places to go out to eat if you can find a place to sit down. And then the divine on Thursday you have Divine Goals at Immaculate Heart of Mary Church Hall, Antrim Road at 7 p.m. And I talk about sport and faith by former Premier League player Father Philip Mulryan, a Dominican, and GA manager Mickey Hart.
Yeah.
Um,
So the last couple of years, we've kind of Philippe and I, and it was also something Father Luke Damasi talked about a good few times with me from the Home of the Mother about if we could do faith and football type theme nights, or it'd be a different opportunity to try and get people that are not necessarily practicing but are more interested in faith or their football or GAA to
yeah,
possibly step foot in the church for the first time in a long time and be challenged with the truth, and with powerful witness. I think the unique testimony of Father Philip Mulryan is just something else. Um, just the fact that he was literally training day in day out with Roy Keane and Paul Scholes and David Beckham and playing for United, and now he's the novice master of the Dominicans in Ireland. That floors you when you hear it for the first time, no matter what your background is. Just in terms of the total transformation of life and priorities there. And then obviously Mickey Hart's won 3 All-Irelands as a manager and still involved obviously with management. So, and he's a tremendously strong faith, and obviously his family, it's such a powerful story and such a well-loved family in Ireland. So we do know, it's not a ticket-based event. It's kind of a first come, first served in terms of seats, but we're very much expecting this to be absolutely bunged, So please God, everyone that
yeah,
wants to go has a room to stand has room to stand at least. But yeah, whenever we're there, it's a nice follow on at the next event for anyone that may then start to think about maybe I should go to confession, maybe I should start thinking about prayer more and going to mass. The next event is then the Blessed Carlo Acutis themed youth retreat. And so for the first time this year, we've invited Youth 2000 to join the Legion of Mary and the Order of the Knights of St Columbanus as part of the Rosary Festival Committee. So while we're all kind of involved with all the events, there's a kind of Youth 2000 themed youth event that's going to be run in St Paul's. And again, it's appropriate because St Paul's is where the Blessed Carlo Acutis relics were last year, and they have that legacy statue there as well. the interesting providential thing is that after we'd already agreed all these events and dates, we then realized that the Carlo Acutis youth retreat is actually on the feast day of Blessed Carlo.
Okay.
So that's
Providential.
Very much providential. And yeah, so it'll run from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. in St. Paul's. And the whole idea with the week as well is to really have a real sacramental focus, a focus on Our Lady, but a focus on adoration, a focus on Mass, a focus on confession. And then ultimately this all leads up then to the climax on the 13th, the Sunday, which is the 21st Rosary procession. Philippe, do you want to go on the Rosary procession?
Yes, 100%. So, as Luke said, we had done the Rosary procession for years. The Legion had done that for years. And last year we took the leap of faith and decided to make it a festival. We invited the Knights of St. Columbanus to join us. And this year, as Luke just said, we invited another organization to join us with these to co-organize, which is the year 2000. The reason for that is it's not that we needed someone else to help an organization, but it's to break even more the perception of people that think that the faith it's just to be shared in your own group with your own people. And we think that if our faith is that important, we need to be able to open the doors and work together with other people. Many times I've noticed, and we've spoken about that in length in the video from last year, and that many people, many organizations, they are very much they do their events, and people who belong to those organizations just attend their own events. And I think it's fine for some people who are busier than others, but in general, it's just we keep seeing the usual suspects in our surroundings, and that adds a level of frustration as well because it looks like nobody else is interested in that such amazing events that someone is doing. So we thought that by inviting other organizations, we can just say, here, this is not the Legion of Mary. It is not about promoting the Legion of Mary. This is about promoting the Rosary. It's about promoting the sacraments. It's about promoting the Church in Ireland. And then people who accept that mentality, we invite them in, and we've tried to work together, and we have been successful to make everybody's face show up in the festival. So until the Rosary procession, the 19th Rosary procession, it was only Legion of Mary's face. But now it's you can see the Knights of St. Columbanus uh, showing more what they can do, and then the year 2000 exposing even more the success of what they do. So that's why you have a youth retreat, we have a Katie, we have the Marian procession, and we have the talks that shows a little bit the face of each organization together. So the Rosary procession this year. So last year we had 800 people, as Luke said, and it was amazing. I mean, in my best dream, I was expecting 400 people because I said, well, it's the first year of the festival. We can grow from 300 to 400, and it was 2:30 p.m. There weren't too many people in the church. We were about to start last year, and then it wasn't 2:30 p.m. But it was like 2:15, and there wasn't many people. And I said, well, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it to praise our Lord and Our Lady with people who were committed and came here and all that. So, and then a bus arrived from down Korea from the Legion, full of people. And then I told them, here, there are loads of people waiting in St. Peter's Cathedral. Can you get this bus and bring those people there? Because they're waiting for we had a shuttle bus last year, which we're not doing this year. And because we were not expecting 800 people, our bus was only a mini bus for 14 people. And so by the time the bus did 2 or 3 runs, we had already 50 people in the church, but there was like 100 waiting in the church to be taken. So this bus from down down Curia, which is the Curia of Legion of Mary from down, the county down, brought all those people um, to the church, and when it was about to start, then the church was filled, and then we could see that the numbers were there. But the expectation this year is to at the very least, to keep the numbers up. We know that people coming for the first time, it's a new thing. There's a bit of novelty and there's a new flavor. But when it's the second time, people say, "Well, I was there last year. I don't need to go it again." But if we want to pass a consistent message to people, we need to show the ever-growing line, the trend line going up and up and up,
Yeah.
and especially we try to support every event throughout the island of Ireland, especially Brother Luke, who goes through everywhere, every event. You can see his
I
face
know.
there.
I
He's just
know.
I think he bilocates or something. But anyway, he's in all those things. But um, more than that, um, we know the Northern Ireland has a wound about the faith. Where there's an
Mm.
open wound about the faith, and walking down Falls Road, reinforcing that, it's just powerful. And this year, I don't know if it was because of the success of last year, but regardless of what happened, this year the priests of these dioceses are fully supporting us, and they are embracing that. And with that, I think it's a great testimony for the priests to see what can be done by the lay people to bring people back to their churches, and also for the lay people to see their priests representing them walking down the road. It's like it's not only me that need to show my faith, the priest is also with me, supporting me on that
Yeah.
journey. So
Yeah.
sorry to talk too much. I get
No.
excited about that, but that's
Yeah.
that's it.
Well, I'm hoping to get up there. Especially for the 5th and the 6th, because on the 10th I'm in Medjugorje, but I'm hoping to get up there the first weekend to support you, because so many great Belfast Catholics came down to Dublin for Walk the Cross. We saw Brendan Rogers, that has the chapel that has the mass every 13th. He came down and he brought the relic of Saint the
Mitt.
mitten of the mitt, and he blessed me with it. So he did on the day. So I felt very close to heaven, and I have to thank for all the support. And I saw you at Dana's event in
Alan Tupper.
Ballintubber. So you've been around. You were
Enjoyed this
Luke.
summer. Enjoyed this summer.
Yeah, so I'm asking people to please support this event in Belfast. I'm going to put a link to the website below. If we don't network together as Catholics, work together as Catholics, how can we, as a church, help renew the faith? And it's up to us, laity, that love the church, to show the vibrancy and the beauty of what is happening in Ireland at this moment in time. And as somebody that goes to Belfast a lot, it's a beautiful city. It's easy to park. It really is. And come up, go up, and enjoy that week. At least a few of those events. The Cayley will definitely be something that should appeal to people, and the talk with Father Mulrine and Mickey Hart.
Make it hard, yeah.
Yeah,
One thing I forgot to mention, Robert, is just about the organization's fair. So in the end of the procession, we had the blessing of the Blessed Sacrament, and we're gonna have Schola Cantorum, which is the choir from the cathedral, singing for us, which was a surprise last year. I didn't want to mention anywhere because I just wanted to be a big surprise. And this year they're with us again, please God. And after that, so when people are full of excitement, we just want to talk and chat about things. So there'll be some refreshments on the hall on the side, and we're gonna take the opportunity to show and introduce to people in Belfast works of some organizations that are around. So they are going to have a table with their literature, and then they can talk about things that they're doing and how to get involved and things like that, which is very important because people can go to mass and just go home and say their prayers at home and things like that. But there's so much work that needs done, and sometimes it's just take a little bit of your time to do to go an extra mile just to evangelize someone else, And sometimes just by the presence of a person, you're already evangelizing. Say that, for example, the Legion of Mary, we have one meeting a week and then 2 hours duty. And so the duty, sometimes we ask people to go to the stall in the city center. They say, "Oh, I don't know how to answer questions and things like that." Well, yes, you may not know, but just be there. Give support to your brother, who is there. And the person beside you might be able to speak better and defend better the faith, but be there, be that moral support. So it's very important for that. And the Knights, we also have the stall, and they do a brilliant work, and they do a work connected to the parish churches. They have the councils divided in areas where they do the work. And Youth 2000, they do loads of retreats. Their retreat is always free. So it's a nice opportunity if you're older and then you want to get your children and people involved. It's always good to send them, to have a place to send them that sometimes you don't even know that exists.
Yeah.
So those are the three organizations organizing the thing, but there will be, so far we have 12 organizations that have confirmed a place on the fair. So it's gonna be nice, and I think everybody can benefit from that, if not by getting new members, but at least by exposing and showing the great work that they do.
Perfect. So it's I have to commend you for all of the work and the effort you put in, to show your love for the church. It's something laudable, and hopefully we can inspire others to come along, to get involved. There's so much happening. I mean, I get great strength from doing these events. I didn't really want to do this 4-day pilgrimage I did with Anto. It's a bit much. I've lots of stuff doing this year, but when we actually did it, and it was a great event in Dublin, we were looking like, what can our Lord do if we just put ourselves forward to do something? And I hope Belfast is bigger than Walk the Cross. I mean, it's for these few events, especially the procession on the 13th of October, Sunday the 13th of October, right?
The day of the miracle of the sun.
Yeah, I mean,
So we
it's
hope to have the
Sunday.
miracle of the sun here.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, it's a Sunday. It's not like the 13th is on a Wednesday when people are at work. It's a Sunday. It's a day of rest. Come out in Belfast in your thousands and support this event. It's to show the church that, look, the faith is alive. It isn't dying. I really do hope it is far, far bigger than Walk the Cross, because it's something that will inspire others to, and you never know what God does in the lives of people at these events, the connections he makes, the support he gives. Well, let's see.
100%. 100%. And I
Yeah.
just would like to invite people to visit our website,
Yeah,
if I
I'll put
may.
it below.
Yeah, it's belfastrosarfestival.com, and all the events information are there. The only events that you need ticket is the Katie, just for catering purposes, and the Katie, I think it's £15. Well, I know it is £15 for an individual, but it's £50 for family with children below 17.
Yeah.
So say if I have a family, and I have 3 kids, I don't have anyone to mind my kids, bring them there. There will be a place for the children to play while we're dancing. So
Yeah. And that church, if people are not aware, it's doing a lot of remodeling. It's renewal, or sorry, renovations in the church. So if people could support that, Kaylee, I presume you'll be helping out the maintenance of that particular church, right?
yeah, the ticket of the event will be to pay the costs of the event itself and of the festival. But within the Katie, there will be a raffle ticket, and this money will entirely to the church. this year.
Excellent.
So yeah,
Excellent.
so please
So
come along and support.
that's great. Okay. So the website is belfastrosary.festival.com, and I'll put a link below, and you can go on there and get details of all of these events, and the tickets is on that website as well, right?
The tickets for the Katie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the, you can contact us on the number provided or the email.
Okay.
Email is just
Okay.
info at Rosary Festival,
.com.
belfastrosarfestival.com. Yeah, yeah.
That's great. Okay. Well, thanks very much, guys,
So thank
for
you.
and
Thanks, Robert.
I hope, guys, that Belfast is going to be the event of 2024 with thousands and thousands of people. I mean, what would happen if, say, 30,000-40,000 people turned up? It would turn heads, I think, and give you
That's
headaches.
that's a lovely problem to think about.
We just had exactly the right number that fitted into the church. If we'd have had more people in Dublin, they'd be all on streets and everywhere.
Well, let's
Yeah,
hope one day
I'm,
they'll
I'm
be
more
then.
concerned about the talks. If 30,000 turn up to the Father Philip and Mickey Hart night, we're in
No,
trouble.
no, we won't promote that too much, guys. You don't want a couple of thousand. You'll have to have screens outside then and speakers. No, but especially on the 13th, I think, it should be a rally for a rally call for people to come to that event. Okay.
But I'm glad that at least you're gonna have the opportunity to come to some events this year.
Yeah.
Because last year you
Yes.
couldn't make it. You were all traveling the whole week. But
Yes. Yes. I'm hoping to get up there that first weekend. So really looking forward to it. My daughter is buying a house in Belfast, so I have to go up and see how it's getting on.
that's great.
Okay. Thanks,
All the
guys.
best. All the best, Robert.
Thank you,
Thank you
Thank you.
Robert.
very
God
much.
bless.
God
Bye.
bless.